Hey everybody, in this video for the game of Stargrave, I'll be comparing the value of collecting a data loot token against the value of collecting a physical loot token. Hey everybody, I'm Alan, with Bricks and Blocks Gaming, tabletop gaming with bricks and blocks and helping to build your gameplay foundation. I recently released a video where I compared the Break Lock and Data Knock powers to see which one gave the biggest advantage compared with unlocking their respective loot tokens the usual way. However, that video looked only at how these powers affected things on the battlefield. But I had a few comments in that video about how the actual value of the different loot types might affect which power is better. So in this video, I'll look at what can be rolled for each loot type. I'll find the average credit value for each subcategory of loot, find the average credit value of a roll on the data and physical loot tables, discuss how the in-game features of data and physical loot factor into this discussion, discuss other variables found in the core book and supplements, then give my final thoughts on the worth of the loot types. And all the monetary results discussed will be rounded to the nearest whole number. So let's get to the bricks and blocks of this comparison of data loot against physical loot. There's 7 subcategories of things that can be found on the data and physical loot tables. Credits, which is just plain money and takes up 6 of the results from data loot. Trade goods, which can be sold and take up 6 of the results from physical loot. Information takes up 5 slots on the data loot table and can be sold for a set number of credits, or it can be traded for 20 bonus experience points. Advanced weapons take up 3 data loot spots and 5 physical loot spots. Advanced technologies are broken into 2 tables, with 2 data slots for each table and 3 physical slots for each table. Alien artifacts can only be found in physical loot, taking up 3 of those slots. And secrets, which can be sold for 200 credits, or risked to possibly find just about anything you want, or end up losing out on the secret altogether. And those take up the final 2 slots on the data loot table. So if there's a specific thing you're looking for, data loot is the only way to gain extra experience points through information, and the only way to find secrets, while alien artifacts can only be found in physical loot. And if you're hoping to make some rolls for advanced weapons or technologies to equip your team with, physical loot gives you a better chance of finding these. Taking a closer look at these subcategories, if all you're looking for is some credits to hire some soldiers, do some ship upgrades, or do some shopping, a result of credits can range in value from 10 to 400 credits, with the average of these 6 results being 154 credits. Trade goods can be sold for anywhere from 75 to 400 credits, with an average selling price of 229 credits. Information ranges in value from 75 to 200 credits, with the average selling price being 130 credits. The highest value item on the advanced weapon table can be sold for 400 credits, while the average selling price from the table is 185. Both advanced technology tables have an item that sells for 250 credits. The average selling price for gear from table 1 is 144 credits, while the average selling price from table 2 is 163 credits. The highest value alien artifact can be sold for 400 credits, while the average selling price of items from this table is 265 credits. And secrets can be sold for 200 credits. These are potentially worth a lot more if used rather than sold, but you risk losing it completely if you don't recover the central loot token in another battle, and you essentially have to use 2 secured loot tokens to get whatever item you want. But it could be something you'd otherwise have to pay 1,000 credits for, making it worth quite a bit. So with more chances to find advanced gear, trade goods being worth more than information, and being the only place to find alien artifacts, which are on average worth more than any other subcategory, physical loot is usually worth more credits than data loot. The average value of a collected physical loot is 201 credits, while the average data loot is only worth 157 credits. assuming you're just selling any secrets found, as it gets complicated trying to factor their use into this comparison. However, if you're looking for the experience points that information can give, or you like the high risk, high reward factor of secrets, then data loot may be more valuable to you. A factor to consider in this discussion is how the risk involved in collecting loot varies between data and physical. Although physical loot can be picked up as a free action when it's unlocked, the fact that it slows the carrier to half speed and gives the figure -1 penalties to fight and shoot means physical loot is more dangerous and difficult to move off the table. So the cost of casualties, especially when the central token is physical, could make the extra credit gains a wash. And if a player has access to Data Knock to help unlock data loot, or Break Lock to help unlock physical loot, it makes the respective loot tokens less risky and costly to send troops after. Some variables to consider for getting around the physical loot movement penalties, thus increasing their value, are access to powers that can move loot carriers, or some of the advanced technologies that can make it easier to move around. And for data loot, the data jump and data skip powers can help to get a loot out of the danger zone or steal it from an opponent, which makes this kind of loot less risky, thus more valuable to crews that have access to these powers. With the supplements that are available at the time of this recording, I don't think there's anything from Quarantine 37 that aids in collecting loot or increases its value. However, the contacts power found in that book can decrease the value of secrets for finding specific advanced technologies. But in the last Prospector, there's one power that increases the value of data loot and two that increase the value of physical loot. Information Broker essentially increases the selling value of information and secrets, both of which can only be found in data loot. Smash and Grab can both help with unlocking any loot token, and makes the activator able to carry physical loot without the movement penalty, though it doesn't cancel the encumbered penalty, which causes the -1 fight and -1 shoot. And Treasure Seeker, which allows a player to make 2 rolls for a physical loot and decide which they want to keep. And there's also a new ship upgrade in that book, the Hacker Suite, which allows a reroll for 1 data loot each game. To sum all this up, with no other variables besides the average worth of what can be rolled on the physical and data loot tables, physical loot is worth more, but can be riskier to move off the board and secure. And depending on the powers chosen, gear already found or purchased, and ship upgrades installed, a crew can become more efficient with collecting one type of loot over the other, ultimately making that type of loot more financially viable for them. I am curious if there's one type of loot that you tend to gravitate towards over the other and why, so let me know in the comments below. And be sure to like and subscribe so you won't miss a video. I'm Alan with Bricks and Blocks Gaming. Thanks for watching and play well.